All right, so as I'm sure you have figured out by now, I'm putting in a 10-inch subwoofer from this company, JinYeZi. It's listed at 1200 watts on the specs. And one of the things I really liked about this one, as opposed to some of the similarly spec'd alternatives that you can get on Amazon, are just the simplicity of it. So all the different variations that I found with similar specs, they all have these flashing LEDs. There's graphics on them. Some of them had like arachnids. I don't know if it's all spiders, or I think I saw some with scorpions, some with skull heads, but it's not my cup of tea. It's not my style. I just like it simple. Plus I'm trying to hide this thing, tuck it away so you can't even see it. So none of that stuff would really be, noticeable anyway. But yeah, this one's just real simple, sleek, straightforward, all black. And you can see they provide you with the wiring and equipment needed to install this. As I take it out of the packaging here, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about with the simplicity of the look. It's just straight black. It is encased in metal. And I'll give you a shot of the rear here, so you can see all the connections and plugs in the back. And as I rotate around, you can see just simple, sturdy, no tricks or gimmicks. On the back side, it is textured, and then there are spots for brackets. You can kind of see where those screw holes are, and they do provide those as well. Just to point this out, I got these over at AutoZone, these little wire tap connectors here. I think they're referred to as Posi-Taps. I thought this might help minimize some of the potential damage I'm doing here. So the way these work is, the manufacturer provides you with everything you need to do this job. I'll say that. But what you can do here on this top end of the piece, you can see there's this pass through, and there's like that little, almost looks like a nail head there. Instead of stripping the wire and potentially cutting the wire and turning into a bigger project, the idea with this is you kind of pierce the wire and then tighten it down. Obviously you see that metal point there is going to make the connection we need. That'll kind of cinch it down. And then the wire you're trying to connect, you would come in through the base here. And then obviously you got to strip off the outer coating, expose the wire, but then you would tighten it up here. And then that metal barb there in the middle, that's going to make the connection that we need. But I'm going to use these. Just wanted to show you real quick kind of what the heck these are as I break them out in the video and start connecting. So now instead of using the connector, you can absolutely strip the wire and then tap into it that way. Once you have the exposed wire, make the connection that way, and then use some like electrical tape or something like that to kind of cover up the exposed wire. So that's something you can definitely do. I, however, am going a different route. So just FYI, this is an additional expense that is not necessarily needed, but I feel like it's going to provide a little bit of security for me as I continue to make mistakes as I do these things. So hopefully this will minimize some of the damage that I might cause. A general overview of how this is going to go is I'm going to take out the head unit, identify. So this tells you, they also have a video on Amazon that kind of walks through the steps. So if you like the visual, which I do, it's very helpful. Connect these to the appropriate speaker wires on the factory head unit. Since I don't have an aftermarket head unit, I have, technically I have an aftermarket component that runs my CarPlay, but the head unit itself is aftermarket. So I don't have the RCA plugs where I can just directly plug them in that way. So we're going to have to go this route. Plugging these guys in, or attaching these wires to the appropriate speakers, then running these guys from being plugged in here. Those will go back to the subwoofer. This is the remote. Here's the ground, and here's the power. So these three plug in to the corresponding ones here. So 12 volt, that's the red guy. Remote, it's the blue one. Ground's the black one. The ground, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to ground this yet, but my understanding is that it should be a close proximity. You don't want to go too far, so I might have to, I got to find some exposed metal nearby or remove paint finish so that I have exposed bare metal that I can ground this to. I think I'm gonna go under the rear seats. I'm not positive just because I really like using that storage space, and I'm considering other accessories that can go under the seat to take more advantage of that space. However, I think I'm gonna set it there and potentially move it if I have to. But anyways, having said that, I will have to find a spot nearby. Obviously, I'll go in the truck and show you where the spot I choose to ground this. This one goes to the positive on the battery terminal. That's going to be run through the footwell. This is like an intermediary component that will go, it'll go in the engine bay. We'll cut it and we'll show you what that looks like. Again, there's a video so you can see how to set that one up more appropriately. And this control, I'm going to mount inside the cab. I'm thinking down near by the power or the start stop button, but I haven't finalized location on where I want to put that. So with this, they do provide hardware. Some of this hardware is going to be for the bracket. If you want to use these to secure your subwoofer to a location, I think I'm going to go the more flexible route of using these Velcro strips in case I do want to move it or need to move it. But they also provide you with this hardware for the ground and the positive. Obviously this shrink tube, you will need a heat gun. And then this guy here, this connection is going to go from the sub to the back of the remote. You can probably pick that up from the connection, or if you're familiar with this type of installation, which I'm not. So, but yeah, I think we're going to start with hooking these up to the speakers. But yeah, it's probably going to be beneficial to go identify the spot on where you want to mount it first. So let's go do that. All right, speed run for the head unit disassembly. I've done this in a bit more thorough fashion on my other video. I'll link below. But anyways, remove the speaker grill, just pop it up with a trim tool. It's only clipped in. You can see the clips here. There's 2 screws here and here. They are 7mm. So wait. Yeah, 7mm. 2 screws here, 7mm. Then pry that up with your trim tool. Make sure to unplug your speaker right there. As you can see, I have it disconnected. There's the plug, but disconnect that, then you can remove this. Then there's 2 7mm right up top here, holding in the black bezel trim for the head unit. Once you remove those 2, then you can just pull forward and remove the whole trim piece. And be careful, don't pull it, yank it fully away, because you still have to disconnect a few plugs. So once you pull that away, you gotta disconnect these 2 up at the top, and then these 2 larger ones down here near the bottom. So there you go, then you got that removed. Then you have access to the lower portion, which has the CD player, which is what I have removed here. There's 4 7mm screws there. Remove those guys, and then access the back here where we are now. This harness here, you can see, has the plugs for the speaker wires. So this is what we're going to tap into. So on this plug, there's 4 wires that we're going to tap into. It's for the left and the right, the rear speakers, the positive and the negative. So on the back of the harness here, trying to make sure you can see it decent, but these 2 here is brown and white and brown and blue. And then over here, there's it's kind of hard to tell, but this brown one here, this really prominent brown one kind of near the front, it's got a yellow stripe on it as well, that brown and yellow. Then right next to it, there's a white and green. That one there. And you can see they're kind of stacked in the plug. There's the brown one. And then right above it is the white and green one that I'm talking about here, this one here, where my nail is touching. So those are the 4 that I'm going to tap into. So I'm going to get my Posi-Taps tap into those. All right, just to show you how I was doing these. So these were the wires that were provided with the subwoofer. So what I'm doing is just taking off the, they send them like this with these sleeve already trimmed up like that. So you can see I did a couple, but just so you can see me do one, I'm just kind of like, I was twisting this up, taking off this end of the Posi-Tap, sliding this through here first, and then putting it in here. Tightening it up. And you can see now it's just like the other ones here. So once I do the other ones, then I will connect these according to the appropriate, to the stock speaker wire. So this one here is left positive, so I'm going to match the left positive with the car speaker wire, tap into it through the top here. So that's the idea. That's what I'm going to finish doing with the rest of these. All right, so I got them all connected up now, except for the blue one, which this one here is the only one that I don't. So these are all going to tap into existing wires on the factory system. The workspace is a little cramped at the moment, but I wanted to try to at least get one of these recorded so you could see. All right, so here's the completed wiring. So starting far left here, I have this white one. And straight from the manufacturer, this is listed as the left positive. Tapping into the left positive on the car, left positive is the white green. So I'm going to unscrew the top part here. And drop it between the little channel there, you see. And then I should just be able to screw it on, and that will tap me into the wire. So now I'm just going to go through and do the rest. So I'm going to do the left negative next, and then I'll do the right positive, then the right negative, then I'll do the positive, and then the ground. I'm repeating the steps. I'll show you what it looks like once I do the rest. All right, so I got these all tapped in, and then the remote wire, this one here connects to the blue bundle of remote wire that you get with the kit. So I took off 1/2 inch to 1 inch the sleeve, just removed it. It was already removed on this end. I just removed it from the bundle that I was mentioning, twisted them together, wrapped it with some electrical tape, and then ran it through the down through here, which is kind of hard to see, it's so dark, but I'm coming out of the footwell. You can see up in here, so that's where it's coming out. It's exiting through, so I'll obviously run this stuff and hide it a little bit better, but just so you can see where we're at currently, that's where we're at. All right, now I'm going to take the bundle with the RCA cables, plug it into the back of the line out converter, and then basically drop it through the same location as that. Obviously, like I said, I'll have to make it a little bit better looking as far as hiding the wires goes, but yeah, I'll plug these guys in real quick. All right, so I've plugged in the RCA cables, routed them down and through, same places I had the remote cable run through, down in the footwell. Also, trying to take into some consideration of where I want to do the placement of the remote control here. I don't know that I'm 100% sold on this, but right now I'm gonna just run it in the center console here. You can see I got it kind of tucked under this piece of trim, and I ran it down along here, down and around, and I'm coming out here with the rest of the wiring. Like I said, I'm not 100% sold on the position yet, but at least I have some, I got it tucked away. I'm just not sure if I want to do a super conspicuous setup where I drill holes and all that good stuff. I think I'd rather have it tucked away for this. But yeah, I'm not sold on it yet, but we'll see. At least I'll have that consideration for the wiring and hiding it. I'm going to do that all together, kind of bundle it all together when I run it through the the door sill, so at least you can see how I'm currently doing it, at least. All right, let's just pull up the door sill trim here. So it comes straight up. And we're gonna use this little channel to all the way to the back. So yeah, we should be able to see if I can't fish something through from the front trim all the way back to here. And then obviously the plan is to go through here, come out here, and I'm gonna have the sub mounted back here. So let's see if we can't fish these through here. All right, to show you my current state of chaos. So got the wires fished through the door seal trim here, down and back. You can see all this mess here. I'm gonna tuck away and hide and run through the trim down here so it's all hidden. The red I still need to run through up in there. You can see the like rubber grommet there, that section. I'm gonna have to run this through to get access through the firewall into the engine bay, connect this up. But yeah, I just fished it through now since I'm fishing through all the wires. Back here, like I said, you can see the chaos. Obviously, we're going to neaten this up. Get everything run in through this side trim here. And then I'm going to place the subwoofer in, plug everything in. But yeah, we're getting close. All right, current state of things. A little bit neater. It just dawned on me that, so you can see this green bunch of wires. This is the factories, and under it, or above it, there's this like cable tie section here, and I ran all my wires above it. If I were to do this again, I would make sure this is all under. I guess it's not technically too late. I can unfish everything through and then refish it back, but I don't know if I have the patience for that at the moment. But anyway, you can see that runs through there. Coming through the back, my red 12-volt cable here, this is going to be pretty close, at least for my setup, pretty close to like using the entire length. So with the other cables, you can see I have extra length. This is less of a problem because the remote one I could actually just cut to length. These other ones I could just bundle them up, kind of tuck them away and never be seen. But yeah, I'll get this dialed in so you can see my footwell. I did have a huge difficulty with poking a hole through that rubber grommet there, accessing the firewall. So at the moment I'm kind of just running it around it. You can see it's not completely sealed, so that's not ideal. But also initially I was running the cable up and through the front, but I ran out of length, so I'm trying to figure out a different alternative. This seems like a potential way, but running it along there to the positive. And I have these left over from an old job, which did not come with a kit. It's basically little cable management hooks with 3M sticky on the back. So I'm wondering if I can run that in the engine bay along there. I don't know if it will work because obviously it gets warm in there. This might have a bit of an impact on the actual 3M sticky working. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's the current state of things. All right, so I've got the 12 volt you see here, the remote plugged in. Now I'm going to prep the ground cable, plug that one in, but here's where I'm going to use the ground. It's directly above where I'm going to mount this thing. So I'm just going to place it here, and then the ground is just going to run right here. So this is a great spot. Bare metal, obviously, so yeah, that's where we're going to do that. So they provide you with some hardware. They give you some shrink tube here, as well as the connections here. I have a corded heat gun. I don't have a battery powered one, so I can't go out to the car to do that. But I will show you still how I am, because I do have the ground. I can still do the ground. I can at least do that so you can see that. You can apply the same techniques to the red cable. Strip this here. Don't need a whole bunch. That's stripped. The hardware that they provide you. So I'm going to take, we'll start with this one. And let's just trying to make sure that as I crimp it up, it's making contact with the exposed wire, so that's going to be the key. Let me see, I might want to cut the length on this. All right, so I snipped it, cut a little bit length. This is the full length of the cable here. So I took off that much. Remember to put your shrink tube on first. And we're just gonna hit it up with some heat to kind of seal it. Make sure the heat's setting. All right, so you can see how I did my final setup of this guy. I have it mounted up here with some electrical tape just to keep it from moving, but yeah, obviously connected to the positive there. You can see ran it along there. So there's my dollar store setup there with the red cable, you can see. Obviously you can see I hit all the wires down here in the trim, buttoned it up like factory, as well as around here. But here's where, jeez, well, it might be time for me to invest in one of those quick release latches for the back seat, because it's under 30 degrees right now and it is hurting my hand just to try to get that frickin' button push. You can see how red my hand is from trying to reach back there. But anyway, you can kind of see where the wires are coming out here, the back seat. I got the amp right behind here. See if I can't get it open in a better picture for you guys, but just wanted to give you a kind of a final shot on what it looks like. So much for that, huh? Hopefully by part 3 I'll have it I'll get that quick release latch and have this more viewable spot for us. All right, let's see if we can pick up some of the differences with subwoofer on versus subwoofer off. And since I don't have my location for the remote finalized, I fortunately can kind of get this in picture. So I'm gonna turn it all the way down first. And hopefully my quality noise canceling on my Boya mic isn't too quality right now. So hopefully you can pick up some of this. All right, you can see I'm at minimum right now. Let me set this down. No bass. Surrounded by chaos, what we looking for. As a kid, didn't search, now time's getting shorter. Looking for answers now. About a quarter of the way. It's noticeable already. I'll go half. It's about half. Oh yeah, you can totally feel the low end. Let's go 3/4. I mean, that's probably more than I'm going to do on a normal basis. Here, I'll go back to off. There's nothing. Back to off. Honestly, I'll probably keep it, what's that, about 35-40%. Maybe a little bit more. I mean, that's a good level for me, just being able to pick up that low end, but I don't want it to drown everything else out either. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that's picking up on the mic, because it's noticeable in the car. Like, I mean, it's night and day difference when it's off and when it's on, so. Yeah, I'll probably ride with it at about 40-45%. So that's part 2 of the sound system transformation in my F150. There will be a part 3, which I will install a amplifier from the same company, JinYeZi, if I'm saying that right. They are also sending me out an amplifier, which I will install, and that'll wrap up my sound system upgrade that I'm doing. But if you guys like this one, you want to pick one up, I'll leave a link down below in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.